Welcome to the farm. We're here today with a pair of miniature donkeys who are having some hay. Normally in the summertime, donkeys, horses, cows, goats, and sheep would be eating grass, but in the wintertime when the grass dies back, they can't eat the grass, so they eat hay. Hay is basically dried grass that farmers save for the wintertime to feed their animals. So today we're going to learn all about making hay.
This is where it all begins, in the hayfield. And this is where it ends, in the barn. On the right, you can see a green bale of hay made from various dried grasses that animals will eat. And on the left, you can see a yellow bale of straw, made from the stalks of grains like wheat, oats, and barley that the animals will sleep on. Hay bales come in various sizes and shapes. Here are some small square bales, which are actually rectangularly shaped, but are called square bales. Next, we see a giant square bale, which is actually a bundle of 21 small square bales. And finally, here are some large round bales wrapped in netting and strings. All of these bales are made in a similar way using many machines in the various steps of haymaking, so let's take a look at the process. Wait a minute, is Nora gonna make some hay? No, but her daddy is. So let's ride along to learn how hay is made. We're going to see small and large equipment used depending on how much hay the farmers make in their fields. Hay is made in 4 basic steps that generally take about 3 days to complete. The first is cutting, the second is tedding, which is fluffing the hay so that it dries. The third is raking it into rows so that it's easier for the baler to pick up. The baler packs it and spits out the bales. So the first step is cutting. Farmers use a disc bine or a hay bine to cut the hay. Next, they ted it to dry it using a tedder. The tedder stirs the hay up and fluffs it around so that it will dry faster. The next step is to rake the hay into rows using a rake. The farmer drives up and down the field, and the rake gathers the hay into rows to make it easier for the baler to pick up in a moment. Let's watch that raking in high speed through the magic of video. And finally, after the hay is raked, the baler comes along. The farmer drives very carefully down the rows of hay. And the baler picks up the hay in the front and compacts it inside of the machine. When there's enough hay inside, it dumps out a bale. After he's finished baling, he gets out his bale spear, picks up the bales, bales off to the barn to store them for winter. So we've seen some small equipment bale hay. Now we're going to see large equipment. This is a giant windrower used to cut the hay, and it cuts a much wider swath than the small equipment and can go a lot faster. Drives back and forth across the field, cutting the hay, and it leaves it in rows like this. On the left, you can see it was drier. The right was cut later in the day. And the next step is tedding the hay. Here comes the giant hay tedder. This is so big that it has to fold up to be able to travel down the road. Let's watch it open up and get ready to ted the hay. And there it goes. And now it moves off and begins to fluff that hay up so that it can dry faster. You can see just how wide this tedder is. It's much wider than the small machine. As it goes by, you can see that the hay was drier on top and greener and darker on the bottom. And as it gets tedded, it all helps it to dry. So that the rake can come in and rake the hay into giant rows for the baler to pick up. This rake is much wider and can rake two very big wide rows at a time. And now we can speed it up and watch it fly around the field. After the raking, here comes the baler. This one is a giant round baler. It sucks up the hay in the front, just like the small one. Packs it inside the baler. And dumps the bales. This one opens up to let another bale out onto the tailgate. Rolls it out and closes the back. And off it goes. Here comes our next type of baler, a large baler that bales square bales and bundles them together. In the front is the baler. You can see the bales being fed into the back bundler in the rear. And when it's got 21 bales compacted together, out they go.
farm with me today. Our donkey friends are just about finished eating the hay that we gave them today, and they'll be back to eating their grass in just a few minutes. But we did learn all about that process, about how the hay was made. So come on back next week and we'll go for a stroll around the farm and see all kinds of things that you would find on a farm.
Learn more about baling hay. Check out the Hoopla app on the library's digital collection and read Hay Balers by E.T. Weingarten and Balers Go to Work by Emma Carlson.